Good evening and welcome to the program. The delivery of basic government services may sound simple, but it is a painstaking responsibility. It's even more challenging for politicians who represent people living in some of Papua New Guinea's most remote places, especially so in the Highlands region. In March this year, we featured a story of Chuave MP Wera Mori and his relentless pursuit to bring development and growth into Chuave and the Simbu Province as a whole. After observing developments initiated by the MP, the Tok Piksa program visited Chuave again recently to capture the growth and progress made so far since our first visit.
In our previous visit, we showed you the exterior of Yahweh Moses Secondary School, a multi-million kina facility ingeniously built for the children of Chuave. The school literally signifies the hallmark of development in Chuave. From afar, the school is notably recognizable because of its angelic white color and splendid architectural design. It is a marvel majestically protruding against a backdrop of lush vegetation, rugged terrain, and gigantic mountains. The school is equipped with a science and computer lab and all the amenities of a modern institution.
This school has never had a computer lab to this standard before. Now, because of our MP, who is a concerned MP for the people of Simbu, Chuave, and Papua New Guinea as a whole, he has come up with the new facility, and here we have 74 computers on a network. It's on end computing, and we have more than a class-size computer here. As I have said, this is the latest, and it's the state-of-art we have in Yahweh Moses Secondary School. Next year, we are planning of introducing a course of its own, ICT, and students will be examined. We'll start off with grade 11s starting next year. Apart from that, other students, we are also planning to give them computing courses, general knowledge of computing courses, how to use computers, all the way to basic typing. Computing is one part to really boost the knowledge of the students of Simbu. Okay, in terms of computing, we have softwares already installed where they have e-books, electronic books. Okay, in some computers they are being installed, and we really want to have internet on so that this will really boost the learning of students. All subject matters. The library we have is quite small, so all subject matters, they will refer to this lab for research purposes and all this. So that's where I see that the learning of students will be really boosted to the standard. So we are looking forward to that, and I know that our students will at least score better in the examination, having these facilities on board.
The dormitories are not only spacious, but equipped with thick foam mattresses, cozy pillows, and a self-contained ablution block. The classrooms are stylishly designed and equipped with whiteboards and markers, replacing the traditional blackboard and chalk. It is purposely designed this way for health reasons too, according to the school's deputy principal.
We really appreciate the whiteboard marker there. It also prevents asthma. I think a lot of our teachers usually are contacted with asthma due to the chalk dust, and we appreciate the whiteboard. Now the teachers use the whiteboard, and that also stops them from getting asthma.
Not far across the road, the MP, through the Chuave Joint District Budget Priorities Committee, has also funded a new classroom for this primary school. In fact, these are just two of many other school projects funded by the Chuave District Administration under Mr. Mori's leadership.
This school has been established in 1969, and it has been Yes, a long time ago, but there was no development here until we got our member, our current member, when he won the seat, Suave seat, and went to the parliament. There are so many things happening in our district, and our district is now becoming a small town of its own. And currently, he has funded our classroom, and they started 2 weeks ago. The contractor is very fast, and he's a good contractor. And previously, he was in this school. Our current member, he was the former student of this school 46 years ago. And the classroom is at the back there, the brown classroom at the back there. He was doing grade 6 in that classroom. Okay, now that there was no other building than modern classroom for this school. That's the first of its kind. He has funded us, and now we have the project off the ground. So we believe that that project will be completed within a month or 3 weeks' time, because it took us 2 weeks to put the frame up and make the groundwork, all these things. So I believe that in 2 weeks or 3 weeks' time, or a month time, we will complete that project, and we are ready to open. In this classroom, we'll have 2 classrooms, the head teacher's office, and we'll also, in front, you can see it's extended out. So it will have a grandstand for the school. And we will also use that grandstand for the assembly too.
Welcome back to the program. One fact almost unavoidable in PNG politics is that a leader is never alone, even after official hours, and sometimes it can become unbearably frustrating. It's the same for leaders in the Highlands region, and the member for Chuave has been doing his bit to serve the constituents under his leadership.
Wera Mori's family home, which is located a stone's throw away from the nearby Okuk Highway, is frequented every day and night by people who are in need of financial assistance or mostly supporters who loaf without a reason. Despite the constant disturbances, Mr. Mori is always calm, and he has a very peculiar way of communicating with his people. He is soft-spoken but charismatic and gentle, and they adore him. A few days ago, a fallen tree had smashed into a Lutheran church built in 1968 on a hill located outside Chuave station. The congregation was shattered and the woman cried, but since the disaster, the community wrote to the members' office for assistance, and they also embarked on some fundraising activities. Mr. Mori drove there a few days ago to inspect the church and gave them 20,000 kina in cash for the repair work. Moved by Mr. Mori's generosity, the people screamed with excitement and the women wept with joy.
And that it is only fair that as their elected member, I must be of relevance to them on this very occasion when they are now in the process of repairing the damage caused by this disaster. It is a token of appreciation from the district in recognition of the good work has been done by the Lutheran Mission, and that the people of this village, of this congregation, and of this Duma Gomia Seket deserves the support of the district. because together with the churches, we as a government can be able to provide the essential social services, and of course, in providing social services, it also lead to economic activities for the well-being of our people.
In fact, such a gesture is seen everywhere, even at the local hospital. The Chuave MP has come to the hospital to see a boy who is very sick and on the verge of dying. Bu John is 17 and he has meningitis and hydrocephalus, causing his brain to swell out of proportion. Bu needs urgent head surgery to remove the fluid buildup inside his head, or he will die in the next few weeks. This procedure can only be performed by doctors in Port Moresby, but Bu's parents, John and Mary, are ordinary villagers who depend on subsistence farming, and they don't have the money to take Bu into a hospital in Port Moresby. In fact, Bu was diagnosed by Dr. Christopher Ninkama, a professional medical consultant attached with Chuave District Hospital.
And because he is young, he's 17, he's got a future, I brought this matter up with the member to see whether if he can be able to help this young fellow, give him a second chance. And the member had seen the photos that I've taken of this young chap, and he's been very sympathetic, and as is his general nature, he's always a generous person. So he's got his kids in Chuave at heart, and he wants to provide an opportunity for this child so that the mother and the father, that's Mary, the mother, and that's the father, John, they're also very young couples, an opportunity for them to go to Port Moresby. And this is the reason why the member has made it his personal business to be here at this hospital in the midst of all his busy schedules to see and talk to the parents and to assist them financially.
Stop grade 8 na ba grade 9 no me. Sige stop school na sig. Mi pla tu mone mi pla kama ni pla round ni go na. Mi pla to transport. Mi pla stop long mi pla talk thank you. Pla stop one time you. Thank you straight.
Dr. Ninkama said Mr. Mori's heart sank when he told him about the boy's plight. The parents cried when Mr. Mori gave them 5,000 kina to pay for Bu's airline tickets and medical operation in Port Moresby.
I'm duty bound to assist when and wherever I can in such situation and in such circumstances. And therefore, I know and I look that this money of 5,000 kina will be put to good use. That will basically go towards saving a young man who will, and I'm pretty sure that's got a long future ahead of him. His parents cannot afford to send him down, given the fact that, especially coming in from Chuave, we are a district that basically, has no other source of income, because we only depend on coffee, and coffee not on at subsistence level, not in terms of any commercial or plantation scales, and therefore it is only fair that I must assist in this situation and circumstances.
Mr. Mori is a man of passion, generosity, and gesture. He has touched the lives of many people, and pigs are often slaughtered and cooked in mumu pits, even if it is raining, because the Chimbus respect this man.
In this next segment, we'll look at the government's ambitious Small to Medium Enterprise program introduced into the Chuave district and how it is impacting the lives of people at the village level.
The government's Small to Medium Enterprise program was rolled out at Kaigunua village near Chuave station last week. This is the fourth and final disbursement of SME funding for this term of Parliament, totaling 4 million kina. The Chuave MP invited Transport Minister and Gazelle MP Malakai Tabar to witness the launch. Both are also members of the National Alliance Party, a coalition partner in the current government. The Gazelle MP was clearly intrigued by the glamorous welcome. It turned out to be a spectacle as proud villagers, clad in traditional attire, danced and chanted in typical Simbu fashion to herald the beginning of the fourth SME program. Mr. Mori has come to this village to pledge development and to encourage youth to embrace the government's 4 million kina SME program. It is part of the government's Vision 2050 plan aimed at alleviating poverty for people living in some of Papua New Guinea's most remote places, especially in the Highlands region.
The reason why I had to actually initiate and roll out the SME program in the district is the very fact that we are trying to provide opportunities for people who live in the villages, because Chuave is a rural district. Give them the opportunity for them to participate in some form of cash economics, activities in the district. Now, it is very, very important that I do so because, as you can recall back, over the last few years since the commencement of the LNG project, our national growth in terms of GDP went up to 15%. It's not so much of the GDP report that we see. What is critically important is whether what is actually happening and the output of those activities have any form of material impact in the livelihood of the people who live in the villages. See, if those things cannot have any material impact on the livelihood of the people that actually live in the villages, now we do have a serious problems because it must be translated into real development, something which the people must feel. On a second note, the circumstances and the situations here in Chuave and in other parts of Simbu is totally different from other parts of the country. For those that are provinces like in Enga, Southern Highlands and Ella, that do have extractive industries, the opportunities that are available to them and the scale of economies are totally different from us. So this is the reason why we have to think outside of the box. How do we empower our small people that live in the villages? That is the reason why the way forward is to provide seed capital.
Since the start of the SME program, the number of applicants in Chuave has risen from several hundreds to over 3,000 potential recipients now registered with the Investment Promotion Authority. Mr. Mori said the SME is also designed to complement the pace of development happening across the electorate. In fact, tangible projects are now being implemented rapidly, including the upgrade of the road networks across Chuave. Therefore, it is important for the government to improve and empower the people so they can utilize these changes to improve their livelihood. Unlike other resource-rich provinces in the country, Simbu Province and Chuave particularly have no extractive minerals. Mr. Mori wants to produce a generation of highly educated and skilled citizens in the Chuave and Simbu Province as a whole, so they can embrace other opportunities in life. It is indeed a mammoth task, one requiring skills and expertise of a leader who is not only fearless but courageous. Mr. Mori relinquished his career as a professional geologist to become a politician because he was driven by a passion to change Chuave. For now, the changes are beginning to unfold, but the journey to prosperity is a long way off. In fact, it is a journey which is totally incumbent on how well the recipients of the SME program can perform.
Wera Mori can only do so much in his capacity as their elected leader. He has no doubt excelled in this regard, but the people themselves must also embrace the opportunity to do more for themselves and their families, to be free of poverty and socio-economic oppression. On that statement, that's been Tok Piksa for this week. Until the same time next week, it's good night.